Hey y'all. Happy Friday. It is that time. You have just stepped into Let's Talk About It. And we have an X talk today because these exes is out here and they doing the absolute most. So we're going to have to get into it. We're going to talk about these exes. A little jail talk. Where would Let's Talk About It be without a little jail talk? So let's do jail talk first because it's real quick. Um, Looks like our boy Young Thug. He got some more indictments came on down. Drugs, guns, and rock and roll. I mean, what can we do? What can we say at this point? At this juncture, what can we say? Can we just again keep our boy lifted in prayer? But it's gonna be very, very interesting to see what happens because there was new indictments, but the word on the street was that he was getting out. So somebody out here lying. Somebody's lying, and I'm gonna need the truth because it ain't in y'all. But good. Well, again, we're gonna just keep him lifted in prayer. Um, so let's get into this X talk. On some real, I got a question because hey, let's talk about it. So let's talk about it. How often are you talking about your ex? I tried to avoid X talk because one thing about it, I don't ever want to sound bitter or like I'm talking shit or you know what I mean? Like I just try to avoid talking about him. But our boy Irv Gotti was not trying to do that. He was on Drink Champs going in. I'm talking straight drop, no cut. It was hilarious to me, but just think about being his ex. Being Ashanti and having people hitting you up like, yo, Irv going in. My man said he not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. But it's wild. Like, what's it's 20 years ago. Why is we still talking about exes after 20 years? After 2 years, I forgot I dated you. My friends be having to remind me, you remember when? Oh, shoot, I really don't. So it's 20 years later, and he was clearly hurt. But the most wild part, he's talking about a time where he was with Ashanti and he was dead ass married. Mm. I Something about that, yeah, I question that. That's something about that is super wild. So you was married, your feelings hurt, Ashanti then moved on with Nelly, you feeling some kind of way 20 years later. But the even crazier part is all of this is going on. He called her 50 bitches. If I'm lying, I'm lying. He called her a bitch about 50 times. This shit is crazy. But Ja Rule, who, obviously he's friends with both of them, had to sit there and listen to it. But the wildest part for me is Ja Rule couldn't stand the heat. See, Irv Gotti, he's standing 10 toes on what he said. He said what he said. Well, the backlash that Ja Rule is getting because good old social media won't let my man live. Well, he had some words to say. So our boy Ja Rule says, and I'm gonna read this so we get it word for word. Brotherly love, the last few days have been very turbulent for me, but it's time to land the plane. I love my sis, I love my bro, but I do not condone or agree with the behavior nor the way Gotti handled things on Drink Champs. I hope y'all understand how uncomfortable this is for me being in the middle of something I wish not to be. Going forward, all I ask to be left out of this, please and thank you. Sincerely, Switzerland. Get the hell out of here. You okay? I think he should have just stayed quiet. Just like yo, he was there. That's a grown man. It is what it is. Now you like that he threw his man under the table. So either you didn't stick up for Ashanti on Drink Champs and people feeling some kind of way, or you threw your man's under the table. So people is feeling some kind of way. It was a lose-lose. Now he looking double corny. Yeah, Ja, you're gonna have to take this L because it's a double L at this point. You ain't take because the fact is, if you're listening to people who didn't watch all the Drink Champs, you did your part. You tried to stay neutral. You told them to stop using the B word. Like you did something. You didn't just sit there. So this wasn't necessary. You should have just left it alone. Go ahead and take that L. Speaking of taking L's and X talk, Britney Spears. Why are we talking about Britney Spears in 2022? Well, because Spears and Kevin Federline are on a social media rampage. It all started when Kevin Federline kind of came out, said he gonna have, some interviews talking about what's going on, what's been going on, his thoughts on Britney. And he came out and said that her kids really don't really want to have much to do with her, and they're quite embarrassed about, her Instagram antics, the twirling, the half nakedness. Her husband tried to come to her rescue. We all think she a little thrown off. So, sir, and we all think you there for the money. So that didn't help the situation at all. So, he also a little bit later after they hit the clap back, posted a video of Britney arguing with her kids back and forth. Sound like a mother to me, but to each his own. But here is where it gets real, real interesting. Britney Spears is talking about all the weed at Kevin Federline's house, and she was comparing all the weed to her house in his house to Ludacris, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Diddy. Well, of course, we got some problems with that. Yeah, Brittany, I'm pretty sure more than black rappers smoke weed, sis. You ain't had no other examples? To some, they throw in the racist card. I'm not gonna say that. Do we not forget? Good sis did. She dated Columbus Short. Her and Snoop, real cool friends. I don't think she's racist, but she could have mixed it up a little bit. I mean, if that's the best she had, that's all she had. It is what it is. But those are some exes that need to keep each other's name out of the media. Because, see, if she has a problem with the weed in his house, you take that up with him. Your kids are, I mean, what they 16, 17, they almost out the house at this point. If you had a problem with the weed, y'all should have handled it years ago. Why is it 2022 and you want to talk about it on social media? Who knows? Like the X clapback season is in full effect. If you missed it, there's a show on Bumble. Our girl, all the ladies' favorite, was on it. Lori Harvey. If you're not a Lori Harvey fan, ladies, step up. Come on, catch up. But she's on a show on Bumble, hosted by Tiana Taylor. And Tiana Taylor asked her about what are some red flags when you're in a relationship. Well, good sis said, when your ex is too cool, or when your man or your significant other is too cool with their ex, it's a red flag. Well, reason why this is ex talk, because the T is that was one of the big reasons that her and Michael B. Jordan broke up, because he still had feelings for his ex. And this is according to Lisa Ray, who dropped the bomb on their show. Folks can't hold their tongue. They can't keep tea in too long. But that's the tea. Lisa Ray, who was good friends with Lori Harvey's mother, said, that was really an issue within her relationship. So I think she was subtly letting us know, like confirming that to be fact. Like, when your man is too cool with his ex, it could be a problem. Are you still cool with your ex? I do have some exes that I'm super cool with, but like I don't want any part of them, because those ones that are really cool, they're exes for a reason. Like, we should have never been in a relationship, but a friendship did happen. Would you rather him be talking bad about his ex, or just be cordial? Like, we were able to break off and move on and still be cordial. Long as respect is there, boundaries are set, that's a coin toss in conversation. But hey, we're in let's talk about it. So let me know, what do you think? Should you be friends with your ex, or once they long and gone? If it's a bad ex, again, I forget about you. You're blocked and deleted on everything. You can't even send me an email. But if we were really cool and had a good friendship and we just decided to part ways because maybe it was timing, or maybe we just really didn't like each other in a relationship, sexual type of way, we were just like really cool, then yeah, why not? Why not stay cool? I don't know. For me, I would think I'm better with an ex that you still cool with than a new bestie of the opposite sex. You feel me? Like, where did this new friend come on? We don't make new friends in relationships. We don't make new friends. So I think I would be way better understanding of a cool ex that was around before me. Y'all got a legitimate friendship than making a friendship with a new person. I don't know. What do y'all are y'all good with either one? Or are you like no new friends, no old friends? It's me and you. We ride or die. That's it. Let me know in the comment section because I want to hear from you. What else is going on this week? It's so much going on this week. Angela Yee left the Breakfast Club. So now she's an ex-member of the Breakfast Club. Yeah. So I guess they'll be fine. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I stopped watching the Breakfast Club. I stopped watching the Breakfast Club because Charlemagne dead ass. His voice bothers me. He bothers me. And honestly, the dryness of Angela Yee bothered me. So I just kind of stopped watching The Breakfast Club. But she's supposed to have a new show coming out of her own. So good luck to her. She's been in the industry a long time. She's doing big things. And although I'm not a huge fan, she's still out there doing her thing. So, congratulations on her on making that move. Because as we know, it's been a couple years. That relationship hasn't been right at the Breakfast Club between all three of them. She been wanting to leave. So I guess she was waiting for that right opportunity and it has came along. So I'm not mad at that at all. Whew, as we continue on this X talk, all these exes. Well, Kim Kardashian, her ex Pete Davidson, is allegedly in trauma therapy because of online harassment from her soon to be ex husband, Kanye. If this isn't the wildest shit I've heard in a very long time, you're a whole comedian. He was a whole comedian on SNL, right? Like he backlash from things that you have said is a very common occurrence. And if you can't take a little social media banter, I don't you in the wrong profession, you're doing the wrong things. I don't believe it. I think this is, just a way to just try to stay relevant, get some shit in the blogs. But if he is really in trauma therapy, I think he needs a new profession. I think he needs to do something new because if Kanye got you that riled up and scared, you probably shouldn't have tattooed his wife and kids' names on your body. I mean, for somebody to do that's telling me you like about that life. Mm, but if you're in trauma therapy over some tweets and some Instagram posts, um, Mr. JR says nobody cares about Angela Yee. Mr. JR, don't be like that. I'm kind of with you though. Like I dead ass don't care, and I'm not going to watch her show. I do not watch her podcast, but I don't want to sound like a hater. I'm just like, she's mad dry. I'm just not a fan. Yikes. So if this comes back to like bite me one day, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. I said it, I meant it. I don't watch. I don't listen. It is what it is. Um, oh goodness. I don't know if we're gonna call it exes. This is about to be a sticky situation. So here it really goes. We really gotta talk about it. OnlyFans model, Instagram model, Courtney, what is her name? Cleany? You know the one who allegedly killed her boyfriend Christian, and it was a whole hoopla because he dogged out black women so bad that we was like, oh well. Well, she was recently charged with murder, with murdering him. And video footage of like her go I mean, she went in. She was definitely punching, hitting, she spit on him. Came out and she was very aggressive and he was just trying to, push her away. So this conversation has come about domestic violence, but when a woman is the aggressor and hitting on a man, this is this is a serious thing, and I feel like men can't come out and talk about it because maybe it's a little, but you a man, does not mean that a man can't get abused at all. Does not mean that a woman can't be the aggressor and constantly putting her hands on him, and that's a problem. It is just as problematic as a man putting their hands on a woman, and I don't feel like we even talk about it enough. It's a real thing. Because I'm telling you right now, there's a reason probably I have two daughters. Because if a heifer put her hands on my son, she going to see about me. And I know she going to have to see my daughters too. And it'll be the last time she put her hands on my son. Like I, I, I wouldn't tell him to hit her back. But I'm like, son, if she out there wild and I can't get there on time, I'm gonna need you to shake her one time. I'm gonna need you to I might need you to push her down to get you, but you're not just gonna keep hitting on my son. Like it's really crazy out here. I don't know if you guys saw the Spirit video of a woman and a Spirit employee, a male Spirit employee, going back and forth. She called him the N word. She dropped the F bomb because I do believe he's homosexual, and she hit him. And that man did everything he could to hit her back. And wow, it's kind of wild out here. It's a split fence. People are like, she should have never put her hands on him. He had every right to defend himself. And other people was like, when she hit him, she did not hurt him. It was ego that hit her back. Listen, y'all, this is going to be an popular opinion for sure. I watched it. I heard the audio. Two things. Don't you ever put your hands on somebody without thinking that they are going to retaliate the same. I don't care the gender. If you cock back and you hit somebody, you cannot. I don't care if the gender think that they're not going to hit your ass back. That's where we go wrong. You hit somebody thinking, oh, he a man, he not going to hit me, I'm a woman. Never make that assumption because good sir rolled on the ground trying to get to that ass. And it's not okay. But my problem was before that. Why is this man in her face like this? Why is they going back and forth like this? That you're at your job. And at that point, if you hear the audio, she's like, don't be in my face. He's like, I'll be in your face. Okay, now you're you're being an antagonist. You are egging this on. Like, not his Mr. JR. Why are you in the comments cutting up? Get yourself together. But that's the problem. So my problem was way before she got out of hand. If she hit that man, he hit her back. Good sis, you probably should have kept your hands to your fucking self. That is what it is. But it shouldn't have escalated to that point, and he shouldn't have been in her face like that. One, you're at your job. Do better. Conflict resolution. That was nothing but his ego. That was nothing but his ego in her face, ready to go back and forth with her. And she didn't think he was gonna hit her back. There's no way that she cocked back, hit that man, and thought, oh, this man gonna hit me back for sure. She's thinking he's not gonna hit me back. He at work. There's people around. They're gonna break it up. Well, good sis, baby, nah. He tapped that ass, and that's what happens when you don't keep your hands to yourself. The whole situation was wild. I think they were both extremely wrong. They were wrong for different reasons. She was wrong for hitting him, and he was wrong for being in her face like that. What would I have done? Let me tell you something. That's a good question. What would I have done? I am not confrontational. One thing that I'm not going to do is argue back and forth with anyone. You're not gonna get that close to my face to argue with me because I'm gonna been and stepped back because you're not gonna invade my personal space. But once I say my piece and you say your piece, that is what it is. If it is a problem because obviously he was a Spirit employee, whatever her issue was, I'm gonna have to go to somebody above you. It's above you now. I'm going to corporate. Where's your manager? You're the manager. Well, because there's somebody above you. So I'm not gonna go sitting back and forth with someone who wants to argue with me versus solving the problem. So in all honesty, I'm not gonna be in that situation. But for the sake of argument, I was feeling extra feisty and I went back to old CC because old CC was a little different. We would have went back and forth only for a few moments and then I'd been done. I would have there's nothing that he would have said that would have made me want to cock back and put my hands on him. Like that's wild because my assumption is always if I hit you, you gonna hit me back because I don't know about y'all, but I was taught that since a kid. Nobody said, "Oh, if somebody hit you, hit them back only if they're a girl." No, no, no. I was taught if they hit you, you hit them back. So I'm just assuming everybody else was taught the same. So if I hit you, I'm assuming you're gonna hit me back. From what I seen, she kept. What is it? From what I seen, he kept his hands to himself. Yeah, for the most part, until she cocked back and he had to defend himself. Yeah. Do I think he had to hit her back? Honestly, no. I don't think he was fearful for his life. I don't think her little slap punch, whatever, hurt. Um, Again, I do think he hit her back because of ego. One, he was in front of all these people. And honey, he was good and sassy. Okay. He was good and sassy. And what you weren't gonna do was put your hands on him in front of all these people and he not retaliate. That was pure ego. He was in no danger. But he also escalated the situation past what it should have been escalated to. Never was it escalated to the point of physical back and forth, but it was escalated past to what it was needed. I've been hit in the head with a big old Gucci bag. Bro, that's because you're trifling. Okay. And you like to mess with married women and you're not faithful. So if I can, I'm sure you've been hit many times, but I'm not gonna put your business in the street. I'm not. I'm not going to go there. But it is, listen, we got a few minutes left, so let's get into it for real, for real. It is my favorite time of the show. It's repeat or delete. I did ask y'all to make sure y'all go check out that Nicki Minaj's new single, Super Freaky Girl, and tell me what you think about it. Is Nicki Minaj Super Freaky Girl? Is that on repeat or delete? Um, yeah, baby, that's deleted. I won't. Yeah, I'm not gonna put that on the playlist. That's deleted. I'm done. I am actually highly disappointed. Like y'all know, I love Nicki Minaj. For me, she can't do no wrong. You could put her on anything and she gonna ride. And I just thought this song was terrible. Not delete, period. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, friend. I'm there. Meg the Stallion's album came out, 18 tracks. So I'm be honest with y'all. 11 of them was pretty cool. I liked that song Her. That song Her was bussin'. It stands out above all the rest of the songs on the album. Um I honestly was able to listen to more of the album than any of her albums or mixtapes. I was able to digest more of this. And I'm gonna give y'all my theory. Y'all ready for my theory? Cause y'all know who wrote Bodak Yellow, right? Good old Partisan. And you know who Meg's man is, Partisan, right? Right. He got to be helping good sis. He got to. And she could have just really have grown as an artist, but I really do think that Partisan aided in some of these songs and made him a little better. So all in all, Meg Thee Stallion's album is going to be on repeat. I'm not mad at it. Again, 11 out of 18 were very digestible. It's just a few that I could have did without. It's not they were bad. I could have just done without them. Not Meg is a social media locust. Stop it. Don't be that person. But speaking of Megan Partisan, we do know The Rock had, he was a cheeky interview. He had some things to say, and Partisan got a little I don't know, he felt some kind of way. Bruh, it was a compliment. He was basically like saying, she's a baddie. Like, Partisan, take several seats, sit down, relax, and just keep helping your girl right in the booth. But nevertheless, best album I have heard probably in the last 4 years. I'm gonna go 4 years. Game Drillmatic is everything. It's the beginning, the middle, of the end. It is 29 songs and one interlude. Drake with braids. Come on. Come on. We can't go wrong with Drake. Drake with braids interlude. It was hilarious. But Wayne, Dreezy, um, who was the sleeper? I mean, Jeremiah, come, Ty Dollar Sign. It is so many features on there that he says it's his last album. We'll see, but it is worth the listen. It is worth go from the beginning to the end. It was definitely worth the listen. Ruby Rose, Twister. Come on, he got Twister. He done brought my man's out of retirement. If you haven't listened, go listen. It's worth it. He gave us 30 songs. All right, Mr. JR, you did listen to that Metro Mars. Yes. That was last week. It worth it. Definitely worth it. That song Violence. Come on. Even though I'm non-violent, I'm not promoting violence, but that song is everything. So of course, the Game Drillmatic is on repeat. Well, it is that time and I have to get out of here, but I want to know from you. Make sure y'all hit me up on Instagram, CC Lovebug, CeeCeeluvbug. And until next week, be confident in you and love every inch of yourself.